Good morning, African Stars International School learners. I'm Ms. Helvi, your grade 6 social studies teacher. Welcome to our 5th e-learning lesson of Term 2. And today we will look at the importance of physical features. Last time we discussed about the main physical features, the oceans, the rivers, mountains, and also the deserts. Importance of physical features is that the physical features support all forms of life, like the plants and the animals, and also other creatures depend on these natural features in which we live. Animals, human beings are also included. They provide us with basic needs such as water, food, and shelter. Now let us look at the importance of oceans and seas. So, in most cases, we think oceans and seas are the same, but oceans, these are large deep masses of open water, while the seas are masses of water mostly surrounded by land. So how are the oceans important? Because they support many forms of life. For example, the seaweeds, the tiny plants, or the coral, which are animal organisms in the water, in the ocean, fish, dolphins, birds, and other animals that depend and lives in the oceans. So the fish, they depend on the tiny plants, dolphins and birds, they depend on the fish. So the organisms depend on each other, and we depend on the fish also. Okay. Oceans are also important for water cycle as large amounts of water evaporates from the oceans. If you look on page 61, there's a diagram of the water cycle. When the sun hits the surface of the water, it makes some of the water to evaporate, and then when that water vapor reaches the atmosphere, it cools down and condenses, forming clouds. When clouds are formed, they lead to rain. So, why are the oceans important to people? It's because they provide us with fish, which is a source of food, and we transport our goods, oil, which is fuel, and also us ourselves on boats and ship through the oceans. Its beaches are also used for tourism. We know tourism sector brings a lot of income in Namibia, and also tourism employ lots of people, and it provides people with jobs. The people who works on the boats, the captains who drive or who monitors the boat. Maybe you can just say the drivers of the boats and the ships. They are employed because of the oceans, and also the fishermen. It also plays a role in climates of areas near the oceans or sea. For example, Walvis Bay, Swakopmund and Henties Bay or Lutherits, that the climate there in the coastal area is not the same as this one because it's always cold and it does not rain much. And then the next important is deserts. The importance of deserts. What are deserts? So the deserts are dry areas with less than 250 millimeters of rain a year. So basically the deserts do not really receive much rainfall. And nearly 1/6 of the world's population live in the desert. So in the desert, there's underground waters, and this one collects in low areas and form oases. If you have seen a water bottle written oasis, that water comes from the deserts, underground deserts, water in the deserts. And also, deserts are house to many animals. For example, the Rocky Deserts. We have the Kalahari Desert. And also, many people have built their house around this oasis, underground water, and also in rocky deserts where there are animals. Sandy deserts are also used for tourism activities such as the quad bike and 4x4 driving, the Land Cruisers and the Jeep, those cars with big tires, and then they can go and spin in the sand dunes. Okay, and also oil, which is fuel, is found in many deserts. Next is the importance of mountains. Mountains are homes to many animals and also people. And also another importance is that many rivers begin in the mountains. We have the Orange River, which begins in the Drakensberg Mountains, which is a mountain range which passes through Lesotho, South Africa, and yeah. And also, mountains, they plays a part in causing clouds and rain. So when clouds are formed, it leads to rain. Okay, so what is the importance of mountains to people? It's tourism. Many people from maybe Europe or other part of the world, they come and look at our mountains, and by doing so, they have to pay and generate the country's income. And also activities such as skiing, mountain hiking, and climbing, and also mountain biking, they are part of tourism or recreational activity or fun. It also generates income. For you to do that, you have to pay. And also, some people have built their houses in the mountains. If you go from the north to the south, you can see that there are houses built which are built on top of the mountains. Mountains also are used to generate electricity on waterfalls. For example, the Rakana waterfalls, they generate hydroelectricity there. Hydro means water. Okay, and then let us look at the importance of rivers. Rivers are waters that flows in channels from high ground areas toward low ground areas, and they end in the seas, in the oceans, or in the lakes. And many living creatures depend and live in the rivers. Those are the plants, the animals such as the hippos, hippopotamus, and the crocodiles, the snakes, and other types of things which lives in the river. And then the importance of river to people, it provides us with water and also fish. Sport fishing, there are people who enjoy fishing. And then we get water for irrigation to water our crops and also to give to our animals. And also many dams are built on the rivers to store water. So when it rains or when the river is flowing, the water will flow into the dam and it can be used for future use, like the Hardap Dam and all the dams that we have. And it's also used to generate hydroelectricity power when it's falling from high ground areas to low ground areas, like what I said, the Rakana Falls, and also for tourism. And we also transport our goods on boats and ships through the rivers. Okay, now time for activity on page 66. You're only doing question 1 and 3. Looking at the Earth from space, people have called the Earth the blue planet. Now you have to explain why they would have done this. Why is the Earth called the blue planet? And then 3, describe how oceans, mountains, and rivers are physical features which play a part in the water cycle. So how do oceans, mountains, and rivers plays a part in the water cycle? You have to describe. You have come to the end of today's lesson. Answers to this activity will be provided in our next lesson. Remember to keep safe, wash your hands, and avoid crowded places in order to fight COVID-19. Thank you.